Today, we're going to talk about something that's on everybody's mind. AI, ChatGPT, and how you can utilize ChatGPT to grow your business, how to save time, how to use it in your marketing, how to communicate in a way that gets your clients, your prospects' attention. Down there at the bottom right-hand corner, you'll see there's a react button, and I see a lot of you are engaging right now. Thank you so much. The more you engage, the better experience we'll all we will all have. And I'll have a Q&A at the end. This is about sales and ChatGPT. So if you have a sales-related question, even if it's outside of ChatGPT, I'd be glad to have you come up on stage. Yes, there's a virtual stage up here. I'm glad to help you up here on the virtual stage and take your questions. So I'll do that towards the end. How many of you right now are a little overwhelmed with all the AI tools and resources that are coming out? Give me a thumbs up. Trying to get a pulse for the room that's going up. We had a couple of you. You know, we see okay, there's a lot more coming up now. We see the world as we are, not as it is. And I'm involved in an AI mastermind. I see tools that are coming out left and right. And can I tell all of you something? Being the AI mastermind and being with other entrepreneurs who are executing and implementing a bunch of different AI tools and resources, it's easy to be fearful. In the mastermind I was in, not this Friday, the Friday before, they were sharing a new AI tool. Write a ebook in 7 minutes. It will write an entire ebook for you. Design, layout, wording, and everything. And I thought to myself, in the recesses in my subconscious mind, am I irrelevant? Is my business going to be irrelevant? And I said it out loud. And all the entrepreneurs said, yes, Chaz, we all think that way. But let me tell you all something. AI is not going to replace you. It's not going to replace your business. It's not going to replace your job. It's the people who understand how to use AI, who understand how to use ChatGPT. Those are the people that are going to be head and shoulders above you. They're going to be way far beyond where you are. That could be you. You're here, which is a good sign. We got 51 people listening. So all the other people out there that are like going about their jobs, fearing and whatnot, you're already a step ahead of them. All right. So let's talk about some practical things with AI, with content, with getting your prospects' attention. We all know, or we should know, or you should know, one of the best ways to get your prospects' attention is to put out content, meaning post on social media that speaks specifically, and this is all about marketing. Marketing is about building confidence in your prospect's mind about you and your solution being able to solve their problem, okay? We know from Dale Carnegie, How to Win Friends and Influence People, great book, by the way. I've gone through it many times. It's all about people knowing people, liking, and trusting them. But in 2023 and beyond, there's one more thing to add to that. Know, like, trust, see you as the authority. And content if you put out correctly, content allows you to connect with people on a deeper level so they know you, like you, trust you, and start to see you as an authority, start to see you as an expert in your field. For most of my life, I didn't understand marketing. I was in sales. I did very well in sales. And I thought marketing was a waste of time. Boy, was I wrong. When I started learning marketing back in 2010, the sales conversation changed. People came into the conversation and it wasn't just about, decision maker, uncovering the budget, getting the problem, understanding what it's costing them, how it prevents them from reaching a goal or objective. That's important still. But when people come into the conversation and they see you as an authority, your closing percentage, I use onboarding percentage, goes up and the conversations go deeper. So let's talk about content and getting out more content. How many of you struggle with putting out content on social media? Meaning you don't have ideas for content, you don't have time for content. Michael, thank you. Victor, Ron, Rose, thank you. Putting your hand up. All right. Everybody else, you guys have tons of time for content? All right. You got a few people. All right. Well, I was going to give it, I don't know. I was going to talk about how to create over 17 pieces of content a day by spending less than 3 hours a week. But it seems like the majority of you don't have a problem with content. So I don't know if I should share that with you all. So let me ask one more time. Do you want to put out more content spending less time? Let me ask it that way. Better quality content. Give me a thumbs up. Okay. All right. You're still in the minority, but we have more people. Okay, there we go. All right. I'm like, that was the core of my discussion. So there's more things I'm going to talk about. So let me jump into this. So check this out. What if you could create over 17 pieces of content for multiple platforms each and every day, spending less than 3 hours a week? All right. With AI, it's possible. I'm going to give all of you a challenge right here and now. Okay. And those of you that take up the challenge and follow through, those who are consistent with what I'm about to share with you are going to be far ahead of everyone else. To set this up, let's talk about someone who understands social media, who understands content, who actually helps businesses grow by putting content out on social media. He's created an empire. He wants to buy the New York Jets, and he's getting to the place where he'll be able to do that pretty soon. We're talking about Gary Vaynerchuk, all right? Whether you love Gary, whether you hate Gary, he knows what he's talking about, okay? Can you all hear me? I see you guys, Kara, Rose, Lauren, I see you have your hand up. I'm gonna take questions at the end. So I'm not sure if you meant to put your thumb up. Sometimes you go to put your thumb up and the hand thing is there too. But I'm gonna take questions at the end. So Gary Vaynerchuk. Gary is known, he's known for coining the phrase, document your journey. It's not about putting out an Instagram perfection image of who you are on social media, especially on LinkedIn. That falls flat. People want originality, they want authenticity, they want transparency. And there's no better way to give that to people than through documenting your journey. So how do you document your journey? Let me ask all of you something. How many of you do Zoom meetings throughout the week? Or Teams meetings or any type of online meeting? Okay. Yep. A lot of us. So, because you're having meetings with your team, with your prospects, with your clients, those meetings can become content. So all you need for what I'm about to share with you is Zoom, team meetings, anything that records. You can use resources like Fathom, which is a cool tool that I'm looking for. that records the meetings. It also lays everything out, and it gives you like a text looking message where it has John said this and Bill responded and Sally said this. So imagine your text message, looking at your text message on your phone. It gives that layout of the conversation, and anytime you touch part of the message, the video will pop up for that portion of the conversation. Okay, it's pretty cool. There's Read AI. There's so many different things that you can use. Fireflies, Otter.ai, but you don't even need those. All you need is Zoom, PodSqueeze, and it's podsqueeze.com, I think it is, and video.ai. These are all the AI tools that you need. Zoom's not really a AI tool technically, but it's used in collaboration with a lot of different AI tools. So that's all you need. So let's imagine you have 10 meetings per week, all right? Average meeting, 10 hours, or 10 hours per meeting. I'm not going to that meeting. It reminds me, nice to have a sales meeting every Monday morning. Man, I tell you what, anybody been in a meeting that's longer than it should be? Every Monday morning, we would kick off the week with a sales meeting, and they're supposed to be an hour. They were never less than an hour and 45 minutes, and one time it went 3.5 hours, and it was ridiculous. It sucked all the strength out of the entire sales staff. Anyway, I digress. Let me get back to having a meeting that's an hour. So you have 10 meetings that are an hour, okay? For every meeting that's an hour, with PodSqueeze, you can upload the video, and it will take portions of the meeting and give you tweets. It will give you quotes. It will give you long form content that you can use with newsletters. It can give you medium content that you could use with written posts on LinkedIn. Okay, so that's just from the hour written pieces of content. Now, with video, VIDYO. Now, I'm not saying video. I'm saying VIDYO.ai. With video, you can create another 5 to 20 pieces of content. It will automatically take the video. I mean, it will separate you in the conversation so that it's relevant about the content that you put out, or that it will create the content for you with you being the speaker. It can include other people. It will give you closed captioning and much, much more. It will give you the cool, crazy emojis that everyone's using on their content. If you go look at my content, you'll see what I'm talking about, okay? So it will do all of that for you quickly. So think about this. 20 pieces of content for an hour meeting. Now you may be thinking, Chaz, I don't know if I want to put that out there. You can pick and choose what content, but the AI tool, Video, will actually grab this. PodSqueeze will actually grab this. And it will give you good, relevant information, and you're documenting your journey. Nothing's better than people seeing you behind the scenes, in the meeting with your clients, meeting with your prospects, and whatnot. Now, obviously, you get permission from them, but with this, it can take out your clients in the conversation. It can take out your prospects in the conversation, and you could be putting out a video that says something like this. By the way, I'm recording this, and if you want access to the recording, send me an email and give me your best business email address, and I'll send you a recording of this when I have it, okay? So with this, I can have something, and it will automatically pull out you being you. Imagine I'm in a meeting, and this is a clip. I'm giving you an example. You being you will attract the exact right people to you and repel the wrong ones. So remember this, you have to be yourself, you have to be real, you have to be transparent, you have to be authentic. Boom. That's a clip that I can use on TikTok, I could use on Twitter, I could use on YouTube Shorts. And it just took that information out for me. That's an example of how video.ai works. So imagine this. So if you look at this, 20 pieces of content per 1 hour of meetings, this is extremely conservative, okay? So we're talking with 20 pieces of content, we're talking about 140 pieces of content per week, okay? if I do the math with 140 pieces of content a week, 140 times 52, okay, that's 7,280 pieces of content per year. All right? Do you guys start to understand what I'm saying and how by doing something that you're already doing and documenting the journey, you can have 17 pieces of content per day? Now, there's different AI tools for distributing it. There's Buffer and all sorts of things to different platforms. The point is, if you're doing this, and I challenge you to do this, if you're doing this, you will get content out. You'll spend less than 3 hours per week. There's a learning curve, but let me tell you all something. I have a couple clients that are older than 65, and what they tell me is they are, Chaz, I'm technology challenged. And they used video.ai to get 10 to 20 pieces of video content from their podcast interviews. Same concept. Same concept. And they said, Chaz, that was really easy. So 65, they're over 65, and they came into being concerned when they started working with me about new technologies. And we're talking about, how do I set up a calendar link and these type of things? They were able to, without any assistance from me, use video.ai to create a bunch of content. Does that sound cool? Give me a thumbs up. Let me ask you a question. Before you put your thumbs up, I'm going to ask you a serious question. How many of you will commit during the course of the next 30 days to start documenting, taking your Zoom meeting, putting it into PodSqueeze to get written content, tweets, posts, slides, carousels, long-form content, and newsletters, okay? And to use video.ai to get, so you can start documenting your journey. How many will take up the challenge? Can anybody hear me out there? I don't see a single person. Steven, all right. Can I tell you something? All right, we got other people thinking, and I don't want you to take up the challenge just because I'm saying, hey, I'm serious. I'm here to help you see and realize your potential. And with the AI tools, you can be so far, 12 months from now, the marketplace is going to look so much different. It's going to shift dramatically because of AI. Because of AI, if you understand Moore's law about technology, we have crossed a threshold. We, in fall, with ChatGPT being born, and then everything, the AI tools are exploding on the market, in the marketplace, and if you don't start using them, you're going to be left behind. I don't say this to make you fear. I say this to encourage you because everything you need now is at your fingertips. All right. Now it's easy to get overwhelmed because there's so many AI tools coming out. How about this one? How about that one? And there's always going to be a better AI tool. My suggestion is get some core tools. And by the way, if you share this, you see the share button down there? If you share this and I'll get a notification, I'll send you some of the tools that I'm talking about, and I'll send you some prompts to use for ChatGPT to help give you clarity and how to come up with marketing and sales ideas. If you hit the share button, I'll get a notification and I'll share that with you in a Google document with that information. So I'll give you the AI tools and whatnot. Also, if you want a recording of this, send me a message. This is the easiest way to contact me. You see my name, Chaz Horn, right? So just put Chaz Horn at chazhorn.com. Not Chaz.horn, not Chaz _. It's just Chaz Horn at chazhorn.com. And put, in the subject line, put replay, and I will send you a replay of this event, okay? Just Chaz Horn at chazhorn.com. the easiest way to get a hold of me. And just put replay in the subject line. Okay, so I'm going to talk about specifics. Is that cool, all of you? Is that resonating with you? Jay, great to see you. And McCoy, I saw you in here somewhere. There you are. Great to see all of you. All right. So let's talk about ChatGPT and prompts. Because ChatGPT is only as good as the questions you ask it. If you hear prompt, that's a question. Or prompt engineer, a prompt engineer is the person who asks questions of ChatGPT. So I'm going to give you some prompts that are going to help you in your business. All right? So I have emails that go out, and I sent emails out about this event, and I can write okay emails with a decent hook. The hook is the subject line. The reason why people open your emails, or why you open an email, is because in a marketing email is because the hook, it gets your attention. So I wrote an email, and I thought, this could be better. So I put it into ChatGPT, and I framed the question like this. I said, act as a digital marketer. So I'm asking ChatGPT to be a digital marketer. And I want you to rewrite an email, and on a score of 1 to 10, 10 being top, 1 being the worst, I want you to write an email that's 15 in impact, that grabs people's attention and will make them want to opt in for blank, okay? So I said, act as a digital marketer, and I filled all the other in there. Write this with impact, a score of a 15 out of 10, all right? And I give a powerful hook for the subject line so people will open it. And so I put a colon after the question. That's what you do with ChatGPT. And then I copy and pasted my email. Boom. 10 seconds later, it wrote it, and it was okay. And I said, make it a little bit more nurturing and use my words, be more succinct. You can do better. So I'm having a conversation with ChatGPT as it's giving me feedback. And then it came back again that was more succinct. And this time it was too succinct. I said, okay, make it in between your first one and the second one. It's succinct, but it has enough information so people have meat, so they could take away with something that they understand what this event is about, and they'll opt in for it. And then it came back, and boom, I had my email put together because I was asking ChatGPT questions. Does that sound cool? You guys, does that resonate with all of you? Okay, so you can say, ChatGPT, act as a blank, as a digital marketer, act as a leadership, or you could even use it, act as John Maxwell. He's the leadership guru, right? Act as John Maxwell and rewrite this, but keep the words. Can I say something? And I alluded to this earlier. It's like, Chaz, you have the microphone. You can say whatever you want. I may not be around, but go ahead. ChatGPT, as I alluded to with the ebook written in 7 minutes, it can write information, but it's going to be bland, vanilla, and it's not going to have your voice. So if you want to be authentic, and as I was saying earlier, you being you will attract the exact right people to you and repel the wrong ones. Be you is allow ChatGPT to understand your tone, who you are, and have it communicate in your voice. If you communicate in a different voice, or to say, ChatGPT, write this. You could do better, you could do better, you could do better. Oh, write this in the way of Gary Vaynerchuk. Write this in the way of Simon Sinek. That's going to be their voice. And when people meet with you, there's going to be a disconnect between what they read and what they see when they hear you. So really, and again, it's going to be bland vanilla. Sure, it can spit out a bunch of content, but that type of content's not going to resonate. It's just like most people who write copy, meaning they write content, aren't very good. It's the 3% that are. Your voice, your tone, again, will attract the right people and repel the wrong ones. Okay. So let's talk about an asset. Everyone know what an asset is? So being on LinkedIn is good, and I've taught hundreds of people how to utilize LinkedIn to grow their business to get to the next level. I teach people how to use LinkedIn and how to work on and off LinkedIn. I use the acronym TABS, TTABS. T is tactic, that's what you do. This event is a tactic. Technique, that's how you do it. How I put on the event starts to add a different sense for people. If I come into the event, okay, everyone, Rose, I see you have your hand up, and we're going to talk about AI and ChatGPT. No, you want to have someone that has some energy that's going to show up, right? That's part of technique. A is attitude, and nothing happens well in business, in sales, in life without having the right attitude, the perspective, and mindset. B is the behaviors. That's how many of the tactics, the activities you do to get a certain outcome. The things you do, the activities you do, the behaviors that move the needle. If you do a certain number of events, you'll have a certain number of qualified meetings and a certain number of clients. And then S is strategy. Strategy is about speaking to your target market in such a way that builds confidence in their mind about you and your solution being able to solve their problem, okay? So, that being said, I wanted to give you context for an asset. It's great to connect with people on LinkedIn, but hey, LinkedIn could be here one day and gone the next. Or maybe LinkedIn gets the way of some of these other platforms, and I don't like how you said that, so we're going to kick you off the platform, or we're going to relegate your content so no one views it or sees it. I mean, it can happen. That's the problem with relying on platforms. That's why it's good to connect, have people see you as an authority, start to know you, like you, trust you, and then get them off the platform and start to build an email list, okay? Because that email list you have, and you can use it no matter what platform you're on or off. It's very valuable, depending upon who's opting into your email list. So people opt into an email list. Everyone here is probably opted in for your name, an email address or phone number to get an asset. This is what I'm talking about right here now. An asset is a reason to opt in because there's something of value. So imagine creating an asset that gives value and reason for people to opt in. Are you with me so far? Are you catching what I'm throwing down? So I was thinking about what type of assets can I create that will get people's attention, that will give them reason to give me their name and email address so that I can market to them. So what I did is I was messing around with ChatGPT and asking it questions to ask me. I was going, ask me questions one at a time as I want to create an asset for people to opt into. So they'll want to opt in, give me their name and email address. I'm thinking about maybe some video. I'm thinking about an ebook, a PDF. And so I said, ask me questions one at a time. And so ChatGPT was asking, okay, tell me more about your audience. What's the specific need here? And I was answering all these different questions. And after about 21 questions, I came to the realization that a really cool asset, there's a couple ones. I'm going to do a video training, one, and then the other asset is a quiz. And the quiz that I created with ChatGPT, I'm gonna walk you through here. So I came up with the idea from ChatGPT, what I wanted to do, and then I went back to ChatGPT and I said, okay, please create a quiz and act as a sales trainer And this quiz is to be given to salespeople and the business owner who sell for their business. Understand within this quiz, it's essential to know that tenacity, the ability to influence, assertiveness, not aggressiveness, is important. And then I talked about the steps in the sales process, intention, building rapport, talking to the decision makers. And I said, ask me questions one at a time so that I can develop a quiz that people can take. And by taking this quiz, they can instantaneously understand their level of sales skill set. So it first responded with 10 questions. And I said, no. Ask me questions one at a time. And it apologized. I'm sorry. Let me try this again. And then it started asking me questions. Okay, as a sales, it started asking me questions. And I asked it to give me multiple choice questions. And then, well, let me slow down here. Okay. I said, give me questions so that I could come up with multiple choice answers. And it started giving me the questions with multiple choice answers. And then I said, ask me questions one at a time and let me come up with the multiple choice answers. And so if it would give me a question, I would say, no, tweak that a little bit, tweak it a little bit, improve that. Okay. And then I would say, here's the answers that I'm going to use. So I went through this for about 15 minutes, and 25 minutes later, I had a quiz, but it wasn't all put together. I said, okay, now with the answers that I've given you and how I refined the question, I want you to have the quiz with 15 questions based on my responses. So we have the top 15 questions and responses. That's the noise of ChatGPT delivering my quiz. Now I have a quiz, a multiple choice quiz that I can use as an asset. Let me ask all of you something. If you wanted to improve your sales, or let's say you want to get better and increase sales, you want to onboard more clients, would you take a quiz for 20 minutes that would help you determine where your flaws were on a scale of 1 to 10, where your level of sales skills is currently and how to improve? Would that be something that you would take? Nobody. Hello, everybody. Can you hear me out there? I know I've been monologuing a little bit. Okay. Thank you. Okay, we got okay. All right. I just want to make sure you guys are hanging with me. It's like, Chaz, you got a little bit long-winded there. All right. So picture this in your business. If you want to grow your business, if you want to grow your sales, stop thinking sales only, think marketing, think about getting a group of people. This is where you get leverage, where they're opting into something to get something of value. Once they get to something of value, they're going to go, in this case, a quiz. It can be a PDF, it can be an ebook, it can be whatever it is. That's going to give them value. Now you have their name and email address, and once they opt in, you will have on the back end a whole email campaign that will go out to them, and ChatGPT can help you with that, okay? So now you're marketing them to them, it's automated, and you're filling this list, depending upon where it is, on LinkedIn, through content, you're filling your opt-in emails, and the more people you get that are in your target market, in your email list, then you're going to start having qualified meetings without you having to do anything, as opposed to having your email that consistently goes out. Is that cool? You get their attention. How many of you have been in an email opt-in and a year later you saw someone's email, you ignore. You kept getting the emails, you didn't opt out because there was some value. Then all of a sudden you saw one subject line one day, 52 weeks later, and you're like, wow, I want to check this out. This is what happens when you get your name in front of someone over and over and over again and you bring value. It helps you grow sales exponentially. Okay, So here's another thing. I have a newsletter that's out, and after this, I'm going to take questions. All right. I have a newsletter that goes out, and I wrote the newsletter. Again, I did this just to see what would happen. I said, ChatGPT, I'm going to have a newsletter about salespeople and when and how to hire salespeople, why it's important. It was about 1,000-word prompt because I wanted to put all that information in there. And it came back and it didn't sound like me. And I said, no. So after about 10, 15 minutes of messing with that, I went ahead, I took that information, I rewrote the newsletter, and then I said this to ChatGPT. Okay? I said, please proof and enhance, but keeping the same tone, which is me. I want my words, not your words. I just want to make sure it's proofed so it's grammatically correct, and put this in a way that there's bullet points, action steps, and it impacts the reader so they walk away with an understanding of knowing when and how to hire a salesperson. So, I put that in, and it stopped. I said, you didn't finish. I apologize for the abrupt halt. Let's continue. And then it continued, and it finished everything. The point is, and then I went through this, and I tweaked it a little bit, but I can't tell you how many times I don't get a newsletter out. And for me, a newsletter is one of the things that I can put off and procrastinate, okay? And this helps me do that. Okay, so we talked about getting out 17 pieces of content by doing nothing different than what you're doing today, except spending 3 extra hours with video, pod squeeze, so you get 17 pieces of content. And then we talked about different prompts you can use with ChatGPT. Anybody have any questions? Rose, you've been sitting here with your hand up this whole time. So come on up, unmute yourself, bottom right-hand corner, and let me know the question you have.
Yeah, thank you so much.
I'll do my best to answer it. Please introduce yourself to everybody.
My name is Rose. I'm actually a LinkedIn strategist, resume writer.
Okay. I cannot hear it. Can anybody hear Rose?
Oh,
I
hello?
cannot hear you.
Can you hear me?
Ronnie, you want to unmute yourself and see if I can hear you?
Yeah, I'm here, but go ahead and let Rose finish.
Hold on a second. What's going on here?
I am speaking.
I'm having some technical problems on my side. This happened before. This is a bummer. Hold on. What am I doing wrong here? With this, I got that. I'm recording. Okay, hold on a second. Oh. I see the problem. Hold on, Rose. I'm coming with you. I'm coming to... Oh, ouch. All right. There we go. All right. Rose, please introduce yourself again. And now I can answer your question.
Yes, hi. Thank you, Chaz, for having me on stage. My name is Rose Alchemisi. I'm a resume writer, a career strategist, and LinkedIn strategist. I'm also known as the storyteller solopreneur. And my question is, I have a couple of questions for you because you've covered a lot of content. So if you don't mind answering a couple of questions. So one in particular that struck me was you were talking about getting the email list. So I have a LinkedIn newsletter, which has over 1,000 people signed up. But how do I, I concede your point about, possibly being deplatformed somehow and then losing those connections. So how do I convert the people who have signed up for my LinkedIn newsletter to get the email from them? So right now I don't have access to their email. They're just signed up via LinkedIn. So that's my first question.
Yeah, that's a great question. So let me address that. Okay, now that I have can you hear me okay, Rose? I just want to make sure my sound is okay.
Yeah,
okay.
I can hear you.
Okay, great. So I have a newsletter. Great. You have 1,000 subscribers. By the way, if you put a newsletter out on LinkedIn, typically you'll have 10% of all of your followers subscribe to your newsletter within 10 days. Okay. So that's cool. But as Rose mentioned, you don't have that. They're still on the platform. So one of the things you could do with your newsletter is have a call to action within. Do you do call to actions within your newsletter?
The call to action is usually follow and like and share. But yeah, I could have another one, I
Yeah,
guess.
just because you can. The cool thing about newsletters is you can insert videos. If you go to my profile, if you guys are wondering about LinkedIn newsletters, on my featured posts, meaning it's about 1/3 of the way down my profile, you can see a newsletter. It's how and when to hire a salesperson. And that will give you an example. And so now you could have context because we're visual, but this is audio, what she's talking about. And please subscribe to my newsletter. Now, you subscribe to my newsletter, I'm still not going to have access to your contact information. So within the newsletter, I'll do several call to actions. One was schedule a sales and marketing analysis by going here, and I'll assess your sales process and your marketing strategy, and there's a link. So they'll go there and they'll put their name and email address in to do that. So have a call to action. You could be what was the latest newsletter? What was the subject about?
The last newsletter was about small talk, how to become a better communicator.
Okay.
So that did really well. Like a lot of people liked it. So
Excellent. So you can say, right now I'm giving you an overview of how to improve your in communication so you can influence and get to the next level in your career. I'm just saying this based on what you told me about what you do. I have a course in how to improve your communication skills. That's a 3-video series. Opt in here. Okay. So they're already there. They're getting information, but now this takes them to a deeper level. They're there. They're reading it halfway through the newsletter. It's like, do you want to take your influence and communication skills to the next level? Because that's the key to taking your career to the next level. Join my complimentary communication and influence course by clicking here. So that's one way. And you're going to get a number of people. I mean, out of those 1,000 people, I don't know how many people will view it or read down that far, but you're going to start getting people consistently. Have something in that you do consistently like that. Now, you have 1,000 people that are subscribed. So the cool thing about the newsletter is it will invite all the people that are following you. Meaning, if you're not connected to them, but they're following you, it will still invite them to subscribe to your newsletter because they get a notification. I mean, if you go to your LinkedIn, you can see this under my network. You probably are bombarded with a bunch of newsletter, event requests, and all sorts of different things. Everyone can relate to what I'm saying? Okay, but the point is, people will subscribe to your newsletter. Now, you have those subscribers, and the reason Rose why is talking about followers versus connections, because you probably have some people that are not connected to you who are subscribed, right?
that's correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
So start connecting with those people that you have. If you look at someone and see their LinkedIn profile, do you have a sense of understanding if they're in your target market or not?
Yeah, I'm starting to figure that out slowly, but
Okay.
I'm also shifting in the sense of what I'm focusing on is shifting as well.
Okay. Yeah. It's me too. We're always evolving and changing and improving and adapting. You have to. And can I tell everyone something? Your business is going to look radically different 12 months from now because of AI and ChatGPT. So with all those people that you're not connected to, connect with them and let them know you create an asset. So you can use ChatGPT the way that I described to create an asset, to come up with an idea for an asset. And I mean, you could do something like, what's a quiz to help you so you're prepared for your interview or something like this. Um, that could be, or a video series or ebook, and how to have your resume so it stands out so people schedule a time to interview you. Okay, be one of the 3% who get interviewed, while the 97% don't. So you create that asset, so you can do the opt-in, like I said, on the newsletter, but you can also email all of those people, the ones you're not connected to. You connect with them and say, thanks for subscribing to my newsletter. I have something that helps you prepare your resume so you get noticed, so you get the interview. Would you be interested in having access to this complimentary training? If so, send me your best business email address and I'd be happy to send it your way. A number of those people are going to give you their name and email address, and you've asked for permission, so now they've opted in. I'll bet if you do that within the next 30 days, going through that list, you'll probably get hundreds of people that are now opting in. And now you're on your way to continue to grow your email list, but as you continue to do this, and you can post about it, you can add it within your polls and all sorts of different things. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. And I was wondering, in your opinion, like, should I work to create a newsletter whereby people just automatically subscribe through their email
Yes.
instead of, doing this two-step process? So right now, I'm gonna try to, work towards converting the people into actually, providing their emails, but then later on, I would like to just, skip them the middle process and just go straight to.
Most definitely. Yes. There's Substack, there's Beehive, there's all sorts of different things that you can go to set up. And here's another nugget of information. Then Ronnie, I'm going to go to you. And anybody else out there have questions, come on up. So Corey Sanchez, if you follow Corey Sanchez on YouTube, and she takes you step by step through the process, and she has Beehive, by the way. That's her creation. She's the founder of that. And she walks you step by step how she got 125,000 people subscribing to her newsletter, not on LinkedIn, off LinkedIn, who opted in for her newsletter in 12 months. So she can go into a lot more details, but Beehive is, I think Substack is another one. And if you guys go to AJ Patel is one of my clients. He's using Substack. He's the Excel guy. His newsletter is the Excel Dojo, and he's getting anywhere from 200 to I think 1,000 subscribers a month to that newsletter, and that's off of LinkedIn. So great question, Ronnie.
Can I,
Yeah, go
sorry,
ahead.
if before you move on, I just had one more question because you were talking earlier about videos,
Yep.
and I'm the type of person that's camera shy. I don't know how to, like, I'm kind of being apprehensive about using video, and I also noticed that, for example, like carousels do very well on LinkedIn, but videos they don't really get that much traction. I was wondering if there was a way to get more traction on videos, because I follow some people who post videos and they don't get as many views as when they post like carousels or like, written content.
Yeah. Well, this is a good point. This I would encourage you and everyone in the audience. I would challenge you to get on video, because it's here. You talked about communication and influence. So the statistic is we influence people with 7% is the words we use, 38% is the tone of how we communicate those words, and then 55% is our body language. So body language in video, and you communicate really well. You just need to get in practice, and you could use ChatGPT for this. ChatGPT, I want to start using video. Start asking me questions that I should answer so I can get better in video. I just want to make small incremental changes. What are some things I should do to improve in creating video that's going to go on LinkedIn? The videos are going to be 2 minutes or less. So that's what I would do. Now, I've had videos, like I have a video today, Rose. It's not doing that well because the algorithm on LinkedIn changed a little bit. And when I say algorithm, everyone out there, what's the algorithm? On the social media platforms, they have certain things that will ensure your content goes out to more people or your content goes out to less people. So just think about that as the algorithm. It pushes it out or restricts it from going out. So I've noticed this post is not doing this well. I had a post yesterday that was humorous that had 2,000 views in less than 24 hours. Okay. So what was the difference? Humor. I notice when I create a video that's a lot more creative, like I'm speaking from one room or I'm talking to myself, but myself is a potential prospect. I put glasses on and whatnot, and I have the conversation and I give a story. Those type of video posts do very well. My videos like this one I do today, it'll probably get 200 views. But when I do something like the way that I'm describing, it will get anywhere from 750 to 3,500 views. So now remember, views is they're actually viewing your content. An impression is it just appeared in the feed. So it's a little bit deceptive because someone can see your post, a written post in the feed, and you have all these impressions, but they may not have read it. Does that make sense?
No, I understand that. Actually, the algorithm, LinkedIn algorithm, does not favor external links or external content. So if you're posting a video, let's say that you took on TikTok,
it has to be native. It has to be native.
Yeah,
It has to be native to the
exactly.
platform and uploaded. Yes.
Yeah.
That's very true.
So the AI tool that you mentioned earlier about videos, would that hurt the algorithm, or was that?
That's just editing. It's not like a YouTube where you're posting a YouTube link in there. It's just editing, because any video you see on LinkedIn, it's edited. It's just an editing tool that will take. This is a great question because I probably didn't go into details on this. It will take our Zoom meeting, or it could take your podcast interview, and it can give you short segments that are 20 seconds. Those are really good for YouTube Shorts and TikToks. And then a minute segments that will go on LinkedIn or YouTube, longer form and whatnot. But yes, it just gets the content, and then you upload that video to LinkedIn. Does that make sense?
And what was the name of it again?
vidyo.ai. And again, if anyone shares this, I will give you the prompts and the Google Sheet with the tools I'm talking about.
Awesome. Thanks.
All right, Rose,
Thank you
great
so
questions. Yeah, Ronnie, please unmute yourself. Now that I'm connected and I can actually hear people, I'm ready to hear from you.
Hello. It's Ronnie. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Thanks for doing this, Chaz. I do appreciate it. I'll start with this. This is just a suggestion, or it's just some encouragement for Rose. It says here on her title that she's the storyteller solopreneur. As a storyteller, I would just say, hey, facts tell, stories sell. Mm-hmm. So bring an authentic story to your video, and raw authenticity will always win. So that's just to lift her up and give her some encouragement to have the courage to create those videos. So I heard that, and I wanted to just start with that. But that's
thank you.
You bet.
Hey, Ronnie? Let me just dovetail on that. Then we'll get right into you. So
yeah, go for it.
Give me a clap emoji in the audience if you want to see a video from Rose in the next 7 days. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, we have a consensus, Rose. So are you going to get a video out in the next 7 days?
Yes, everybody follow me, and I'll post a video on my birthday, which is on Friday.
All right. Happy birthday. This is your birthday song. It isn't very long. Happy birthday. Okay.
Follow me, and I'll send you guys a video. Thanks.
Tag me in the post. All right, Ronnie. Sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, and I gave that encouragement, so I need to be tagged as well. But no, I'm joking.
Yes.
Anyway, Hey, seriously though, thank you, Chaz, for doing this. You and I have had a one-on-one once before a few years ago, so it's good to reconnect with you. And I appreciate the information that you're sharing with all of us free of charge. Just a little background on me and what I'm doing. Aside from, as it says in my title, being a voiceover talent and a host of a podcast, I also host and own a outdoor TV show on Sportsman Channel. And in addition to that, I'm a marketing guru for a power sports company, or actually three different entities inside that power sports company here in the Kansas City Metro. Caleb is sitting here with me. And as of even last night, in the last couple of weeks, we as a leadership team have been really trying to dive in deep into the world of AI. And we've actually began a 6-week core MIT training course on everything involving AI. And so this was coming up. Last night was our first session. So when I saw this pop up, it was very fresh and relevant. And so that's one of the reasons that we jumped on here. There was a few things that you mentioned that really inspired me to raise my hand to jump on here. First of all, thank you for the information on video. I think I'm saying that correctly. With that podcast, one of the things that I've been struggling is time management. Mm-hmm. So if I create a 2-hour podcast, because I am savvy within the Adobe Premiere software, if anybody were to follow me on Instagram, that is the Papa Ron Podcast, Instagram or TikTok or Facebook, you'll see where I will create 60 seconds of a piece of that podcast that would encourage people to want to hear more of that entire podcast. And right. I would include the captioning for that. Mm-hmm. But to scrub 2 hours worth of a podcast to find that little bit of piece that is going to inspire that listener to then go and subscribe to either my platform, any of the social platforms, or to the actual podcast on any of the variety podcast platforms. I have to allocate that time to scrub that 2 hours to find 60 seconds of quality content to put out there and then add the captionings to it. So I'm excited to hear about this program, the video, and I'm seeing here where there is a free trial, but it gives you only 5 gigabits of storage. And so being that I have a 2-hour podcast typically on average, I'm going to have to invest in this software to see what its potential is. So thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, you're most welcome. Now, is this the Caleb standing right next to you on stage that you're talking about?
Yeah, Caleb is sitting here right next to me.
So Caleb, come off mute and introduce yourself.
No. He's in the room with me. He's not in he's like in my office.
But you see how I could be confused because Caleb is up on stage, but this is a different Caleb.
Oh, that's a different Caleb. I'm sorry.
Okay.
So I wanted to go on to a couple things. You talked about putting the colon after the question in ChatGPT. Can you elaborate on that so I have better clarity? And then I have another question after that.
All right. This is the time, everybody in the audience, to be selfish. Okay. So, yes. So I'm just going to my ChatGPT chat so I can give you a specific instance. So as a digital marketer reaching B2B consultants, please rewrite this email so people open it and register and give me a good hook for the subject line, : and then I copy and paste my email in there. So that's it. So after that, I'm just telling it what to do, and then I'm putting a : and then I'm copy and pasting. In this instance, I'm having it enhance and improve something that I've already written.
So the email that you're putting in after the : is the email that was already generated by the AI.
No, I wrote. Okay, so everyone's out here so that we're all on the same page in context. I wrote an email for an event and I wanted to improve it. And so I said, act as a digital marketer. So I'm giving ChatGPT a command. So it's acting as a digital marketer, meaning I'm going to write something that's going to resonate with people. So it already has that context in mind. You can tell it what tonality based on how you tell it. So digital marketer. So I say, and give me a good hook for subject line, : and I copy and paste my email in, and then it will proof, enhance, and change. And I'll go back and that's not good enough. It's too long. It's too short. it's too cheesy. And it will, the more you drill down and say it's not good enough, it's not good enough, it will continue to improve and improve and improve and improve. Does that make sense?
Yes. Thank you for that clarification.
Yep. You are
Okay.
welcome.
And then, so the last thing I will end with then is, as a digital marketer in the power sports space, what I'm before I arrived, they were doing social media. It wasn't, the frequency was much lower, meaning they weren't posting every day or even multiple times a day. So I've enhanced that. And I'm also, with my background in graphics and video and audio production, the quality of the content, and I'm biased naturally because I'm the one creating it, but I feel like it's better. However, I feel a little discouraged, I guess, for lack of better words, because of the amount of engagement. And so my question ultimately is will the AI give me the tools to create content that will allow me to reach the masses organically? I mean, we have a social ad budget. We are pushing content with marketing dollars, but I'm wanting to figure out if AI has the ability to understand the algorithm so that I can create content to reach the masses organically.
Yeah. So, Anne, by the way, welcome. So can I be direct with you with something that you said that's a red flag?
Yeah.
Okay. You said something, and I can relate to this because I have this fault too. You said, I like the content I put out. You can't be emotionally attached to your content. I can't tell you how many times, this is so great content. What is wrong with you people? Why aren't you engaging in my content? This is amazing. Okay.
That's fair.
Okay.
That's fair.
So the ultimate judge of good and bad content is the data. It's the data. And the data is from the people who are engaging. Now, if you just start putting out content, everybody, typically it's going to take a while to get people to know who you are. But if you're putting out good content, and you'll get there. Now, with your question, yes, it can, but there's limitations. And you want to make sure, because there's like AI sniffers out there. The social media platforms are putting AI sniffers so they can detect, oh, this was written by an AI tool. Okay. And so that's something that's coming out and is being rolled out and is probably already out there. So that's something to think about. But if you follow the context of what I was talking about going through with original ideas or content, or coming up with ideas for your content, then that can improve it vastly. And you using that video can cut up pieces of content and it can display it in a way that's going to, and then like on LinkedIn, you can have a good piece of video content, but if you don't have a strong hook, that's the first line on your LinkedIn post, you're going to miss out. So you have to have the written with the video, but yes, it can definitely help. But you have to learn what questions to ask it. And it's just like in life, you are where you are based on the questions you ask yourself. And in the sales process, you get more and more sales based on the quality of the questions you ask your prospects, because that's what uncovers the problem, the depth of the problem, and it gets them emotionally involved as they realize they have cancer. So Ronnie, great questions. I'm going to move on to Caleb. Caleb, now that we know you're not the one that's with Ronnie in the room, you're here on stage, please unmute yourself and introduce yourself. And let me know your question. Mute button is the bottom right-hand corner, by the way. Caleb, are you there? Okay, Amy, please unmute yourself. Bottom right-hand corner is the mute and unmute. There you go. Welcome, Amy.
Can you?
Yes.
Hi, can you hear me?
I can. Welcome.
Hi, yeah. Okay, yes. I am a social entrepreneur. Some also call it impact entrepreneur. That started a company called Dance for Healing. It's a patent pending AI telehealth platform that makes healthy habits accessible through music, dance, and art for patients like me who recover from
Hello.
cancer stuck at home or elderly like my mom. And I actually have over 16,000 LinkedIn connections. In some weeks, I noticed that I have up to like 55,000 views. What I am falling short is it's a lot of these kind of sort of just organic connections somehow, and then the post is like interesting things that I share, and sometimes I do get followers, but I haven't really quite figured it out how to convert these traffics into either sales or like, currently we are funded by NIH for minority health research supporting minority diabetic patients, caregivers, and also intergenerational buddy. So even just like to promoting our NIH study and getting, people signed up on our website to contact us to see if they qualify for the study. So I guess my question is really like, given I already have LinkedIn follower, how do I maximize the opportunities? The message I need to sort of craft it, or like, do you have any general suggestion? And then in the sales side, we are targeting more
Amy, can
out
I
there,
handle one question at a time?
yeah, sure.
Because I'm not ChatGPT. My brain has limitations. By the way,
Yeah.
everybody out there, they say that ChatGPT is going to be more intelligent than every human brain if you put every brain together in 12 months. So anyway, I just said that because I heard it somewhere. So the first question, let me address that because otherwise you would have gone on to something else. And I apologize for interrupting, but I wanted to give you some value here.
Yes.
I'm looking at your profile, and the first thing that you have to do, really important, everyone on LinkedIn, think leverage, positioning, conversion. Your content provides leverage. That's where people start to know you, like you, trust you. And again, that's Dale Carnegie, How to Win Friends and Influence People. And as I added, the fourth thing, know, like, trust, see you as the authority. They have to see you as the expert who understands them, who knows them, so they have confidence that you can solve their problem. You're the right person for them. So, founder at Dance for Healing, stage 5.org, impact entrepreneur. So, you have so much going on. You have 3 seconds. It's called the 3-second rule. Not dropping food on the ground and eating it, by the way. Where I grew up, that was like the 10-second rule. It's about people come to your profile and you grab their attention because they're intrigued, because you're speaking directly to their problem, their need, their want. So this is the positioning. Your content provides leverage. And how many people out there go to someone's profile because, hey, this content's interesting, and then you follow them. So now if you're getting people to your profile, you need to have a value proposition that speaks directly to them. Now you can use ChatGPT. I'm speaking to XYZ. I want to have a value proposition that's going to cause them to stop, take notice, and want to opt in for blank. So ask me 20 questions one at a time so I can get clarity on my value proposition. So you should have a pretty good value proposition just going through with ChatGPT. And by the way, I'm all for dancing. I put dance videos on LinkedIn. I love Latin dance, and it's healing for me, and I love to dance. It's something that's awesome, so we have something in common. And your profile, your banner, the wording is so small, it detracts from people. So you have the Dance for Healing, watch 2 minutes video and be inspired by our patients. So you have an opt-in, which is good, but you don't have a video where your profile picture is, because you can add a 30-second video. So here's something real quick. Talk to ChatGPT, ask me 20 questions so I can get clarity on my value proposition. And then I want people to opt in for my Dance for Healing. And I'm going to have a 30-second video, ask me questions one at a time so I can put a video together that gets people's attention. Because if you add a video, then people will watch the video and you can say, see Dance for Healing? Click that below. And the other thing, Amy, is I would use the newsletter if you don't have the newsletter yet. And I would use the newsletter to start to bring people on that follow you who are not connected to you. And then with that asset, like this Dance for Healing See, try. As I'm looking at this, can I give you some straight, direct feedback?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on here. You have this up, and I'm sure you spent a lot of time on this. So great for getting this started. I would rewrite the copy on this because I'm not sure. Dance for healing, buddy up anytime, anywhere. So watch your 2-minute video and be inspired. That needs to be rewritten for impact, and that's what you can take through
Are
ChatGPT.
you talking about our website or
I'm talking
talking
about
about
the Dance for
LinkedIn?
Healing link that you have on your profile, and you click on the link. It's 2 inches below your profile picture, and then it says join our NIH study or try. So there's already giving them 2 options, which is too much. You want to have it really focused and clear what they're going to, why they're going there. They need something to opt in, so they give their name and email address. So you can start getting people. You asked on how to get people, is you get people in an email list and you market to them directly. The other thing is I would start doing live events. You could do a live event like an audio event, even though you're talking about dance for healing. You can still connect people, and then you can ask them to, if you want know more, go to my profile, click on dance for healing, and click blank. Those are some things that you can try, and if you do that, you'll get a lot more people to you. And the great thing about events is you're speaking one to many as opposed to one-on-one, just reaching out to people. Does that help?
Yeah, I see. What kind of event though? Is it
Well,
to,
what I mean, you could do an audio event like this. I like audio
uh-huh.
events because there's an intimacy about audio, and this
Yeah.
is this is a way for you to connect with people so they know, like, trust you, and see you as an authority. And with those 13,000 people that you're connected to, the LinkedIn events allows you to invite 1,000 people per week. Everyone who is invited to the event who registers can invite 1,000 people per week. So if you have 3 people that you know that join the event, they can invite people too. Did you had another question which I interrupted you, and I apologize. What was the last question you had?
Yeah, so just to clarify the event, so at the event, if I wanted to, like, say, being a service for my audience, so it probably shouldn't just be talking about my company or our NIH study, right? It probably like maybe some of my expertise, like say in human-centered design, how to better understand your customers, how to conduct user research, how to do branding, or like things that might be benefiting other people. Or what do you
Yes.
think that, yeah,
You need to
okay.
go an inch wide and a mile deep on an area with your
Mm-hmm.
background that someone could take, like today.
Mm-hmm.
I could talk. I can go a mile wide and an inch deep, and I would have lost everyone by now. But I'm just focusing on AI sales marketing, and I'm going deep down within a couple different tools you can use to create 70 pieces of content a day. And then I'm talking about specific prompts that people can use. So, and then I would do this too, and I haven't been doing a good job of doing this. Is I would say, if you all want to have a sales and marketing analysis, go to my profile, 2 inches below my photo. You can click the link, and in 20 minutes, I'll assess your sales process and your marketing strategy. It says, get your sales analysis, 2 inches below my photo, and you can have clarity on what's not working and why, and understand what to do next. Or I also tell people, email me, put sales and marketing analysis in the subject line at chazhorn@chazhorn.com. First, last name at first, last name, and we'll schedule a time to chat. You'll be glad you did. So those are examples of call to actions that you can do. But yes, inch wide, mile deep, give them value, talk to your clients, the people that you serve, and ask them. You want to know how to come up with ideas? Create a poll. Which event would you rather attend? And here's 3 options, or you can do fourth, or you can put 3 options and other comment below. So that's what I would do so that you come up with ideas. Make sense?
That's great. Yeah. So then I can, because our program focus a lot on behavior change. So then I can maybe start that as a focus. Like in healthy behavior change. And then I can link that to the NIH study because that's our current priority right now to recruit patients.
Yes. Yes. It's,
Okay.
yeah, that right there, how to change your behavior in 3 steps. I mean, I'm making this up, but that would be good copy. That would be the hook. I had someone who's a client and she did so, I forget the copy. The copy is the written portion of your content. And the subject line of the event is how to develop a growth mindset. She had 1,850 people register for her event. Okay, now I'm not saying if you do this, you're gonna have 1,800, but I'm just saying the copy is essential, and you can go back and forth with ChatGPT to say what's an effective subject line is I want to talk about behavior change, and
Wow.
so
Okay.
that will give you some ideas. All right, everybody.
Wow.
Sonia, I got to go to another meeting. If you have a question, email me send me a direct message, and I'd be happy to answer this off live. All right. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out.
Thank you.
Yep. Thank you, Amy. Thank